Hello, my dear friends. This is Rabbi Aharon Dobinsky coming to you today from the holy city of Yerushalayim, Jerusalem, Israel. Yeah, we're in the home stretch, folks. We're getting right down to Yom Kippur. It's just a couple of short days away. We only have a couple of days to do whatever it is we need to do. Some questions that we need to ask ourselves as we go into it is, what have we been doing all week? For those of us, for the male persuasion, and I'm sure some women do this as well, we've been doing slichas all week long. We just added about a half an hour onto every morning service that we do. And what do we do? Well, we tell Hashem about all the things we've done wrong, and we try to get His forgiveness for all these things. A lot of us know that there are several times when we do a confession of a dui. We Hashamnu, Bakadnu, Gazalnu. Why do we do that? Why do we strike our chest, and why do we bend down forward? Well, we strike our chest to show that we're truly sorry, that we try to invoke the support and the understanding of our Creator. Why do we put our head down? Because we're ashamed. We're looking for humility. We need to get humility. Humility is important in our everyday lives. It's very important. Do not confuse humility with self-esteem. They are not the same thing. You can have a lot of self-esteem. You can say, Hashem has given me all these gifts and I need to use them, and that's self-esteem. But humility says, I'm not perfect. I don't do everything right. There are things that I do wrong that I need to correct, and I'm aware of this. I know some of them, I don't know some of them, but in any case, I'm ashamed for the fact that I do not do what is expected of me by my Father in heaven. So I beat my chest and say, please forgive me, I'm so sorry. And we look down because we're looking for humility to show them. Instead of looking somebody in the eye because you're strong and you're proud of what you do, you look down because you're trying to invoke a feeling of humility, a feeling that you are not yet what you need to be, that you are still a work in progress. That doesn't mean you're anything less. It just means you have work to do. And we all have work to do. How long does this process go on, this having work to do? Well, I hate to be the one to tell you, if you haven't figured it out yet, it doesn't ever stop. Not until they throw dirt on your face. It's all your life. You're trying to become better than what you are. I do studying every day. Every day I learn Torah. Every day I learn Gemara. Every day I learn Likutei Moran, Likutei Tefillot, Likutei Halachos, Shulchan Aruch. Why do I do this? And when does it stop? I do this to get closer to my Creator, because even in the prayers we do, that tells us we need to keep learning Torah. When does it stop? Again, it doesn't. Not as long as you're breathing. As long as you're breathing, it does not stop. It's an everyday thing. It's 365 days a year. You know, some days it's only part of the day because it's a fast day, or you're not allowed to learn Torah because it's supposed to be a pleasure for you. In any case, we move forward, and we move forward to being forgiven for Hashem, because if you look further into the slichot that we've been saying all week, it says, Hashem says, Salachti kidvarecha. I forgive you as you've asked. I forgive you as you asked me for. You asked me to forgive you. I forgive you. I have forgiven you. I forgive you. So you know going into it that you've won this. But you still have to be aware that it's something we need to try and earn as much as possible. We need to earn these things. Now, Maimonides, the Rambam, very famous Torah scholar, says when we give tzedakah, there are basically 3 circles of tzedakah, and we should give it in the following order. First to yourself, next to your family, next to your extended family, next to your friends, next to your city, next to your state, and it goes on and on from there, depending on how much you have to give in the way of tzedakah. And it's done that way for a reason, because there are varying levels of priorities, and each one needs to be taken care of before you can move on to the next one. Now, I hear people all the time asking for Moshiach. Oh, when is Moshiach going to be here? Wow, we want Moshiach. We need to have Moshiach. I want to have Moshiach. We need to have Moshiach here. And they want to do tikkun olam. They want to correct the world. And that's a noble thought. It truly is. But let's put this in perspective. Just like the circles of tzedakah, there are circles here as well. The first part is working on our own personal tikkun. mine, yours. Everybody you know has a personal tikkun. There are things that we need to correct. That's part of why we're here on this planet. There are also something we have to do besides that, but there are corrections to be made. If we had no corrections to be made, first of all, we wouldn't be here. And second of all, if we were here, we wouldn't have to have free will. We need free will because free will gives us the ability to choose between the good and the bad. And like I talked about in the coming election, you've got an obvious choice. And I think Hashem did this on purpose so you could know, I've chosen the good side, I've chosen the bad side. Let's not talk about personalities, let's talk about qualities. Let's talk about what each stands for. Let's talk about the fact that one wants to improve, one wants to tear down. The good and the bad has never been clearer, and we have to make the choice of the good. So this is what we do in everyday life. We have to make a choice between good and evil. And that's part of why we're here. But we have to start with us. We have to do our own personal redemption. Then, when we get ourselves done, and trust me, my friends, for many of us, it's a lifetime project. For most of us, it's a lifetime project. That's why we learn part of why we learn every day. When we get that done, then we can start with the members of our family and helping them. Okay? Because they're closest to us. And just like the tzedakah, we want to give them the benefit of being the first ones that we help. Okay? So we work with them. If you've already taken care of yourself and your family, God bless you, because that's an amazing thing that you've done. It's nearly impossible to do yourself, let alone yourself and your family. But if you are the person who has done that, if you are this magical person that can take care of all these things, then you can move on to the people in your city, to the people in your state, to the people in your country, to the people in your hemisphere, to the people of the world. Tikkun Olam, the correction of the world. Then you can start working on it. But it has to come in order. You are in no position, none of us is any position to be working on changing the world until we've changed our part of the world. That's our first goal. We have a little space, this little area on this huge planet, and that needs to be taken care of first. We need to take care of making ourselves as clean as possible. We need to make ourselves the person that we are supposed to be. We need to do the corrections that are right for us. We need to make ourselves redeemed. First redeem us, redeem your family, redeem your country, redeem the world. That's great. It's a noble thing. But let's be realistic. If everybody lived by this type of law, first we redeem ourselves, then we redeem our family, then we redeem everything else and move on forward to the world, we wouldn't have to worry about the world. The world would take care of itself. That's why we're told to take care of our own personal redemption first. Now, here we're coming into Yom Kippur. Now, if you haven't done it yet, you can still ask for forgiveness right up until this time. As a matter of fact, you can ask for forgiveness. You can ask for anything for the coming new year. It's coming up. Why would you not ask the creator of the universe for everything that's important in your life? Most importantly, his forgiveness. Because it says, if you ask for it and you're sincere, he will give it to you. It's a lay down. It's an automatic. It's a no-brainer. So you take that and you build from that. And you take care of thinking about yourself. How are you going to be in this new year? You do this on a new year, January 1st. Why not do it here? How are you going to live this new year differently than you lived last year? You're going to do more of Torah study. Are you going to do more davening? Are you going to do more tzedakah? You're going to do more of all these things. Are you going to do more? The thing is, we need to commit to doing more. Because if we do more, we're taking care of that tikkun. We're taking care of correcting ourselves. That's a start. And we move on from there. So let's start with that this year. And let's look at the things that we're doing. And look at the things that we can improve. And let's get this week going properly. Remember we talked about one way you can improve for sure. We've got 3 days left to do this. Lashon Hara. It takes care of encompassing all 613 of the commandments. If you can just not do Lashon Hara, if any of us, and it's really hard. Sometimes it tells us that if we could go moments without doing Lashon Hara, and we're talking about going days, but it's the effort that we put into it. And Hashem loves that because he looks down, he points to us, and he says to his angels, look at that person down there, look at what they're doing. Don't you just love that, how hard they try to be close to me? Because that's what we're doing. We want to be close to Hashem. We want to live a life where we're not sick and tired of being sick and tired. We want to live a life of love and joy and fulfillment. This is what we were put here for. And we can do that with Hashem's help, because He's guaranteed to forgive us if we just do the things that we need to do before Yom Kippur. What does it tell? It tells us tefillah, teshuvah, tzedakah, prayer, penitence, and charity. Let's do as much of this as we can until we get to the point of Yom Kippur where we're doing just what we need to do in shul. And if we do that, we will finish, B'ezrat Hashem, our own personal correction and the correction of those around us, and that will bring on the complete redemption of the world, a tikkun olam, and we will see, I guarantee you, my friends, the coming of Moshiach Tzidkenu and the third Bet HaMikdash. B'mheira v'yameinu. Be well, my friends. Gemara Chatzima Toiva, good condensed your. You should be sealed in the book of life of prosperity. Of all the things you want this year, you should know all of your dreams come true, and all of your wishes as well. And the more you do, the more that maybe is going to be coming to you. Be well. God bless. Bye-bye.